My name is Miss Kinsey, and I'm a librarian here at the Dell Rapids Carnegie Library. And today we are going to be reading stories about princes and princesses. Who doesn't want to be a prince or a princess, right? I want to be a princess. Not really the queen. The queen is like in charge of things and she's got a big job to do. The princess just gets to dress fancy and go to balls. And I'm kidding, they have jobs to do too. But it would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? All right, so before we get started with our stories today, let's make sure that we have all of our wiggles out so that we are ready to sit and listen to our stories. Are you guys ready? Ready? Arms straight up in the air and wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle this way, wiggle that way. Shake and make a funny sound. Good job. Ready? Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap. Good job. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap. All right, if you guys have been watching, you know what we need to say next. Are you ready? I am great. I am smart. I am strong. I am loved. And today is a wonderful day. It is, isn't it? It is a wonderful day to spend some time with you, my friends, reading 3 amazing books about princes and princesses. Now, when Miss Kinsey went looking for books, there are lots of books about princesses, but not as many about the prince. How very rude, don't you think? But I did find a really, really cute one that has both a prince and a princess in it, along with our princess books. So let's go ahead and get started with our first book. It is called Do Princesses Wear Hiking Boots? And it's by Carmela Coyle and illustrated by Mike Gordon. And we have several books by these authors, all about this cute little princess. She's a little different than the princesses you guys might be thinking about, but I think she's pretty amazing. Here we go. Lots of pages here in the beginning. Mommy, do princesses wear hiking boots when they wish to take the scenic routes? Do princesses ride tricycles? Yes, even 2-wheeled bicycles. Look at her poor kitty. Do princesses climb trees? Is there a better way to catch the breeze? Do princesses like to walk in the rain? They dance through the puddles without refrain. Do princesses play in the sand and dirt if they're wearing jeans and a messy old shirt? Every princess has to have the right wardrobe for her occasion, right? Do princesses have to do any chores? They clean their drawers and sweep their floors. Her shirt says, "My other job is a princess." Mommy, do princesses have to follow the rules? That's one of the things they learn at school. Do princesses eat the crust of their bread? They save them for the ducks instead. Do princesses have a favorite vegetable? They find them all delectable. Do princesses drink sparkling punch? They prefer lemonade with lunch. Her mouth is all puckered up. That must be some very sour lemonade. When princesses laugh, Do they sometimes snort? They have manners of every sort. Do princesses cry and make a fuss? They have bad hair days, just like us. Do princesses snore when they fall asleep? After they've counted 500 sheep. Mommy, do princesses seem at all like me? Look inside yourself and see. A princess is a place in your heart. Do you see you? I see me. You guys could all be princes or princesses if you want to be, right? Alrighty. So before we read our next story, let's stretch our bodies a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I am sleepy today, and there is nothing better than a good stretch to get you guys woke up, okay? Ready? Arms straight up, all the way to the ceiling. Stretch, stretch, good job. Now stretch all the way to the side. Really pull that top arm over. Good job. Now go to the other side. We have to be even, right? All right, arms straight out, palms up, and stretch this way and that way. Pull your arms in, give yourself a big squeeze. You guys are doing such a great job this morning. All right, are you ready? Our next book is called 10 Big Toes and a Prince's Nose. And it is by Nancy Go and illustrated by Stephen Costanza. This is quite possibly one of the sweetest stories that I have ever read. I hope you guys really enjoy it as much as I do. All right. And I never would have found this book if I hadn't been trying to find a book about a prince. Here we go. There once was a princess so lovely and fair, with ruby red lips and a mane of brown hair. Her voice was like honey, her smile soft and sweet. But the beautiful princess had gigantic feet. Her feet were so large that each prince who dropped by ran straight for the door. They would not even try to find out how charming a princess can be, for her gigantic feet were the first thing they'd see. But still there was hope, for the princess's mom was a clever old gal who would say to her, "Hun, my mother would sing me a rhyme every night just before she would kiss me and turn out the light. I am what I am, and that's all right with me. I don't have to be different. I just have to be. I don't want to be somebody else. No siree. I am what I am, and that's all right with me." Look at her big feet under her blanket there. Now, far, far away in our fanciful yarn, there lived a young prince with a nose like a barn. The prince loved to laugh. He was bright like the sun. He was warm. He was kind. He was charming and fun. But maidens rebuffed him. They'd look at his beak. They'd say, "Oops, gotta run," before he would speak. They never found out how much fun he could be, for a gigantic nose was the first thing they'd see. But still there was hope, for the prince had a dad who was clever and wise. He would say to him, "Lad, my father would sing me a rhyme every night just before he would kiss me and turn out the light. I am what I am, and that's all right with me. I don't have to be different. I just have to be. I don't want to be somebody else. No siree. I am what I am, and that's all right with me. One day, while the princess was skiing in France, His Wonderful Highness just happened to glance at the beautiful girl who glided with ease down the slopes of the Alps. She was not wearing skis. The princess, meanwhile, saw the prince all aglow. His scarf was so big that his nose didn't show. They met on a ski lift that whizzed high above, and then bells started ringing, and choirs were singing. And the prince and the princess fell deeply in love. The prince was enthralled by the princess's smile, her beautiful voice, and her princessy style. The princess laughed hard at His Highness's wit. She enjoyed a good joke. The young prince was a hit. But when the night deepened, the ski hill had closed. The prince knew he'd have to reveal his big nose. It was time for the princess, lovely and fair, to reveal that she didn't have skis way down there. The prince shook with fear. There was sweat on his brow. To win the fair princess, he'd have to act now. He thought of the words that his father had said, and he slowly unraveled the scarf from his head. And oh, he was happy, so happy was he, when he looked at the princess, and all he could see were two shining eyes and a smile that was sweet, and a pair of humongous, un-princess-like feet. He stared at her toes. She stared at his nose. They laughed and they giggled, and then he proposed. They rode to his castle for crumpets and tea, and they both were as happy could be. So if one fine day you should happen to meet a guy with a schnoz or a gal with big feet, don't jump to conclusions. Try not to be mean, for you might have bumped into a king and a queen. The end. Wasn't that sweet? Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I just thought that was a super, super sweet story. Very sad that all those other people couldn't see how wonderful they were just because they had big feet and a big nose. We're all different, right? The world would be a very boring place if we all looked the same. All right, so for our activity today, we are going to be princesses and princes. So I need you guys to please stand up. We are going to be princesses first, and then we will be princesses. Princes. Ugh, that's a hard word to say for me. All right, are you ready? Here we go. I'm a little princess. Here is my crown. Here are my slippers. Here is my gown. If the dragon finds me, I won't cry. I'll tickle him and wave goodbye. What a very brave princess, right? All right, are you ready to be a prince? Here we go. I'm a little prince. Here is my crown. Here are my boots all the way down. If the dragon finds me, I won't cry. I'll tickle him and wave goodbye. Did you guys tickle your dragons? Tickle, tickle, tickle those dragons. Tickle their tummies. You are very brave princes and princesses. Great job. All right. We have one more story to read, and it is about a part-time princess. Part-time? What does that mean? It means she's a girl by day and a princess by night. This sounds very exciting. This book is by Deborah Underwood and illustrated by Cambria Evans. Pictures in this book are super fun. Okay, here we go. During the day, I am a regular girl. I have to take spelling tests. My little brother breaks my crayons. I'm not allowed to jump off the high dive or stomp in puddles. But at night, after Mom kisses me and tucks me in, I become a princess. At the stroke of midnight, a sparkling crown appears on my head. A magical staircase rolls down from my window. My coach awaits. I tell the driver to hurry because there is usually an emergency. When we arrive, I get right to work. A real princess can slide down a fire pole in a frilly skirt. No one dreams of telling her it's too dangerous. Princess to the rescue! I save the kingdom, as usual. Oh dear, what a naughty dragon. When I lasso the dragon, the townspeople cheer. Lock him up, they yell. But I have a different idea. I invite the dragon to tea. It turns out he's just crabby because his little brother melted his crayons. All he needs is a little cheering up and a fresh box of crayons. Very diplomatic of her. Then I go to school. A princess studies magical beasts, fencing, and circus arts. I pass my trapeze test with flying colors. Next, it's time for lunch. A queen from a faraway land is my guest. We eat 3 slices of pink cake each. The frogs in the royal mud puddle invite us for a game of leapfrog. Of course we say yes. Then it's time to get cleaned up because the royal ball is tonight. I dive into a giant tub with hot and cold running bubbles and a dolphin. The queen and I choose the perfect clothes. Her dress looks like the sky at sunset. My gown shimmers like starlight. Everyone gathers for the ball, even a troop of big, hairy trolls. Some of my subjects are frightened. Not me, because I know that trolls love to dance. Strike up the band, I call. The ball is saved. I dance with the head troll and a very handsome prince. Maybe I'll marry him when I grow up, but right now, I'm too busy. I have lots of fires to fight and lots of dragons to cheer up. After a long night, I head home and curl up in my own bed. In the morning, I find sparkles in my hair. You look tired, Mom says. Did you have a busy night? She winks. There are sparkles in her hair, too. That night, she tucks me in. I'll see you later, I whisper. And I do. motorcycle adventure. That's neat, isn't it? How very fun. When my daughter was little, she used to have nightmares, and we decided that before she would go to bed, we would talk about what she was going to dream. And we created this whole world, and I would meet her there in her dreams. And we went horseback riding on magical horses, and we went on many adventures, just like this little princess and her mom. And it was very, very fun. All right, that's all the stories that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you tune into the YouTube channel the rest of the week, because we're gonna have some more Prince and Princess activities going on. And if you can't, I hope that you can join me again next Tuesday morning at 10 for a brand new set of stories. See you then.